Hello there everyone, welcome to KTE Dota. Today we are back with another Captain's Mode replay. This time we have some Russian Dota between the teams. No team names on this one I'm afraid, so it's just Dire versus Radiant. I'm Cazis, he's SxLaughter, let's get into the game. Hello Ryan.
Hello Simon, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, how are you?
I'm not too bad myself, Looking for a standard Russian Dota game, lots of fighting, not much farming, hopefully.
We need to go full Divide this game. Full Divide.
We do.
Good bands coming out for a full Divide game, no Timbersaw, no PA. Everyone obviously since TI fearing the PA, thanks to bloody MVP and their QO.
Crit Master.
He was a crit master, not as bad as Shadow's Bashes. Oh, an excellent Russian first pick.
We're in, for some Russian Dota, boys. This is a team fighty lineup already. Well, a fighty lineup, not team fighty.
Yeah. They're gonna go ham.
This is a run at me and I will hit you back kind of lineup, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, we saw it all through TI. The Ogre Magi just running around punching people. Some epic duels took place between Ogre Magi and Elder Titan. Of course, Elder Titan not really a low MMR pub hero.
No.
Oh God.
A Huskar. Okay, that's a bit of an early Huskar, I would say, don't you?
I would say so. I mean, they haven't got any of the usual Huskar combo heroes at the moment. No Oracles, no Dazzles, no Omni Knights.
Well, also, a second pick Huskar is you just counter it.
Yes, you just pick something with physical damage.
Before Dire, just pick magical.
Well, Shadow Shaman doesn't really do much against Huskar. Obviously, the disables are quite nice. Serpent Wards can give him a bit of grief.
Very true.
And a very good sort of disabling cast up for the Dire so far. Huskar is going to struggle before he gets to BKB, that's for certain.
Oh,
interesting that the Dire are banning out Crystal Maiden. Obviously, combos quite well with Ursa. It helps address the mana problems that Ursa can have. And there's the combo hero that they don't want to face against the Huskar, the Omni Knight. Obviously, a very strong pub hero. In professional games, you'd definitely see a Dazzle or an Oracle banned out. But this is not
game, so we get Omni Knight.
Yeah.
Okay,
and the Spectre ban.
Yeah.
A
good physical carry.
So it's going to be a Drow strat on the one side versus a Huskar strat. Oh!
A Pudge!
Opadondo. This is gearing up to be an excellent Russian Dota game.
I'm quite looking forward to this.
Yes, I'm I'm going to be honest. I'm not expecting anything other than just charging at each other.
10 seconds remaining.
And you know what? I'm fine with that.
Pickoffs from 15 minutes until the end of the game. Hopefully even earlier.
Indeed. Basically, Drow does reasonably well against Huskar, and Sven does reasonably well against Huskar. Kind of interesting that they're not... This isn't really a full Drow strat.
No. The Radiant are picking some strange heroes. They're,
I guess it's a roaming Pudge.
It's probably better than the roaming Invoker.
Probably better than a roaming Invoker. I mean, support Invoker is a thing. It's been done before.
For a while.
It's a thing.
We got a Mirana ban. Just ridiculously... I'll start again. Ridiculously strong in this patch. A Techies ban?
Techies ban? What? They're playing Wings Gaming?
that wasn't the strat that I saw coming out from the Dire, I must admit.
So, Radiant have definitely gone for a no support lineup. I guess Bounty Hunter and Pudge are just going to run around and try and kill people, which I'm okay with.
It's got a strong roaming pair, but not really supports. You kind of want one or the other. You don't.
Well, they have literally no disable on Radiant, which means that Sven can just run rampant. That they're gonna. I don't know how this is gonna go for them. I don't like to see no stun lineups at the best of times, especially against what the Dire have, which is a very strong sieging pushing lineup. They don't have the best anti-push. Pudge, Huskar, Ursa and Bounty Hunter actually all suffer very much against the push. Invoker, if it's a Quas-Wex, can deal with it, but I'm going to be honest, I don't expect it to be a Quas-Wex.
No. So what are we looking for here on the die? We're looking for an offlaner, aren't we?
Offlaner, yeah.
Solo offlane, probably.
But they need something that can contest the Ursa, maybe stay a bit safer. Something like an Axe or a Darkseer would be reasonably good. Unless they want to find something that will combo with the Drow again and maybe be a bit greedier and go for a Weaver and try and punish the fact that they haven't got any disables on the Radiant.
They've Dire have kind of shot themselves in the foot a bit with their bans. The Timber would have been excellent here, as
Timber
too
would
with the
have been
Mirana.
amazing. We could see something like a Centaur. You know, a bit of disengage, also engage, more stuns.
Quite good against the Huskar. Oh, you want to hit me? I'm going to run away now.
And a big beefy initiator as well.
Yeah.
Would allow the Sven to go for a greedier farming build.
It would. We've got 55 seconds left on the timer for Dire, so we haven't got very long left to find out what they're going for. They're taking a long time to think about it.
Yes,
long time.
Dizzy 09er, the captain, is taking a long time thinking about this. Maybe consulting with his team, saying, boys, what do we want to play? But in Russian.
I don't know what that is in Russian.
It's probably some combination of Suka Bligat. How racist. How racist. Apologies to any Russian viewers. Not that I expect we get any.
They're really, really thinking about this, aren't they?
A Legion Commander.
Okay.
Sure, why not? She's fighty. She's pretty good against Huskar, actually.
They've got a lineup that can very well defend this Drow Ranger. I'm really concerned for the Radiant.
But equally, they're not going to benefit too much from the Drow Aura, having only 2 ranged heroes, one of whom is a Shadow Shaman. Not known as the most disgraceful of right-clickers. And we're into the game. Would you like to go through the Radiant or the Dire?
I'm looking at the Dire at the moment, so...
okay.
I'll take the
Dire. Let's start with the Dire then.
So we've got, on our Drow Ranger, Shinobi... I'm just going to call it Shinobi. Can't read the rest of it. And then over on the Sven, who I assume is probably going to be safe lane, is the Cap. Then on the support Shadow Shaman, we've got Hakuna Matata for the rest of your days. Over on the Ogre Magi, we've got Dizzy 09er, who was the captain from the draft. And then on the Legion Commander, who looks like he's going to be jungling, we've got Cow. Moo!
Ooh, moo! And on the Radiant team, we have, playing for Team Yannix, Fat Boy on the Invoker. Also from Team Yannix, Begiot Menya taking up the what looks to be offlane Pudge. We have Stranik on the Jungle Ursa. We have Tyronica on the Bounty Hunter. And playing up the Huskar, that most disgusting of heroes, heading to the safe lane, is BD, which I assume stands for Big Dick. Big Dick Huskar.
Big Dick Lanham.
Big Dick Lanham. We got a bit of action at the top rune, as a Fat Boy will test his mettle against Cow and Dizzy 09er. And the whole team of the Dire is here, basically.
I do not think Invoker wants to go back in for that, no.
No, Invoker took a lot of damage.
We're going to see an Exalt. We've got an Exalt Invoker at the moment. Of course, he could have taken the Exalt level just to help with the early last hits. It's something players do occasionally if they're not confident. But I imagine it is going to be an Exalt build.
Absolutely. You see Crosswork so rarely in pubs these days. It's the least entertaining of the Invoker specs.
Huskar is going to have an absolute whale of a time down here against the solo Shadow Shaman. It's very strange laning coming from the Dire. Very strange.
Well, both teams have elected to go for junglers, and I think that the Radiant could definitely abuse the fact that there is a jungler with their Bounty Hunter. The jungler also on the Legion Commander jungle, which we all know and love, hasn't gone for the Iron Talon, so she is going to struggle a bit here, at least until she gets that up. Granik, in the meantime, was choke point jungling with his Iron Talon, up to level 2 already.
I'd like to bring your attention to the most amusing of things on the top lane is a 4 melee lane. I love watching 4 melee lanes. It's so clumsy.
Well, especially when you consider that one of these lanes is far stronger than the other. Sven Ogre, if they just carried Dust or bought a Sentry Ward, they would just dominate this lane. It'll be interesting to see if we actually see any detection purchase this game.
We've got enough supports in the game where that shouldn't be an issue. The Drow Ranger in the mid lane is being given the old zone, which is a bit strange considering we've got Invoker who's level 2 without any Forge Spirits, so he can't really do much against the Stray Ranger. But there
He's
you go.
still winning on CS though, which
Very,
is kind
very
of
passive.
to be expected, really. I mean, Dro does have great last hit damage. Went for the Wraith Band start and got pulled 3 tangos, which is kind of an interesting one. Cow is getting very low in the jungle. Might actually die. Yep, will die to the Ursa. And Stranic likewise is extremely low in the jungle.
I just got extremely confused there because you said die to the Ursa, and I'm looking at the Ursa going, huh?
Sorry, the Hell Bear.
Yes. The Hellbear Warrior. Is it Hellbear Warrior?
It's just a Hell Bear. The red one is the Hell Bear Smasher.
Ah.
We had a
Smashing.
single pull on top lane, so it's gonna, and it's brought the creep wave under the tower, so we're gonna see a major push out on top. If they were just carrying dust, this would be great for the safe lane here of the Cap and Dizzy O'Niner. Unfortunately, they're not carrying us. I think we missed a courier snipe actually.
We did. I have no idea what that was, I'm afraid. Probably the Bounty Hunter, actually.
I think the walking courier came top lane and Bounty just found it. Bounty really just, he needed to bring some clarities. The Wind Lace regen start hasn't really helped him very much. Actually, he
No.
could be dead here. If they just go on him, he's dead. They have to know he's got no mana. Nope, they didn't want him.
He's nearly got mana. Nearly. He should be alright.
I can't help but feel if Ogre had used any abilities at all there, that would have been a dead Bounty Hunter.
Abilities.
What are these things you call abilities? So, considering we're playing Russian Dota, this is an extremely passive early game. Still no first blood. Approaching 4 minutes. Sven is having the time of his life. Huskar, in the meantime,
Cannot
struggling
last it.
quite significantly. DS Lul.
He's tanking quite a few hits from the towers. He's left on 73 HP. He needs to ferry out
It's a
Salve
bold
or-
strategy. He's finished up his Urn of Shadows, but obviously without killing people, he's never going to get any charges for
We've
that.
got a first blood on top, possibly. Yeah, we've got Sven's down into Sven's sword swipe, but I think Sven's dead here.
Sven will die, or should die. Yeah, there you go.
Sven's dead to the bounty and the
Last
tower
tower hit.
after. Yeah. Good TP back in from the bounty. I don't know whether it was responding or whether he'd simply finished regenning in base.
Well, I still think they could be doing a lot more with this bounty and harassing the Legion commander, because the Dire team is taking a fairly commanding lead at the top of the last hits.
They are indeed, yeah, they are. The first 3 are owned by the Dire. Sven, Legion, and Dro. Not what you want, really.
Well, once Legion gets a couple of levels up, she is a very, very effective jungler. Much more so than Ursa.
Yeah, I
EV's
think
returning
Ursa's
to the
going to
top lane.
struggle this game. There's too many disables for him.
Oh, look bottom. Hakuna Matata is actually sort of dominating BD. Not really what you expect to see. The
No, I don't
Shadow
feel like
Shaman.
this should be happening.
Yeah, the Shadow Shaman is well ahead of the Huskar. Considering it's a Shadow Shaman. Oh, we've got aggression from BD. He's looping around behind. He wants to go. He's
just getting a
attracted
TP.
the unwanted attention of the creep wave. And he should be dead here. Yep, very easy kill for Hakuna Matata.
We've got combat over in the Dire jungle as well. We've got Bounty Hunter just toying with the Legion commander.
Just
Some
Legion
might
some
say
experience.
mooing around.
With a Sunstrike, this could actually be a kill. There is actually a scan from the Dire though, so Legion Commander knows he's there. So far has not responded. And continues about his business. Ogre is coming over. Does he have detection? He does not. Gonna bloodlust the Legion.
We're going for a Shadow Blade over on the Legion, which I find a bit strange when there's a Bounty Hunter in the game. So the Legion was very close to Blink Dagger money. I can't help but feel that would have been a better pickup.
Agreed.
Might
Fat
be
Boy
losing
is
the
in-
Invoker. Yeah, we
yeah.
lost the Invoker mid. Just Dro Ranger, right clicks, and Tower.
If you start getting kited out by those frost arrows from the Drow range, you've pretty much had it when you don't have a point up in... Oh, he did have a point in Wex. He just decided not to invoke the invisibility.
Might have a kill over on
BD.
bottom, yeah.
BD is initiated on Hakuna Matata, and this is pretty much how this lane should go from now on. Obviously, every time Serpent Wards has a significantly longer cooldown than Life Break, so every time he gets Life Break off cooldown, he should just be going onto the Shadow Shaman. And there's not really a fat lot the Shaman can do to survive in that case, as his main disable shackles, he has to stand next to you to cast.
What is the range on shackles? It's not that big.
It's not that long, and it's certainly not enough to get away from a Huskar. Haha, fresh meat on top lane. They've hooked the cap under the tower. And the cap will die, but the Pudge goes down first. Drow Ranger looking to rotate into the jungle. You might find the Ursa, who's just standing AFK in the small camp, purchasing a Blades of Attack. But it looks like he wants the bigger fish, the Huskar. He's just now started to heal himself with the Urn of Shadows.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There is parity in the jungles, I must say, with 36 last hits apiece.
Yep.
Which is quite nice to see. I feel like Legion should I suppose she has been harassed by the bounty hunter.
Yes, and she didn't start with an Iron Talon either, so that doesn't help. And we've got initiation from BD onto Hakuna Matata again. Unfortunately, this time the Serpent Wards were up, so that was an easy kill. Hakuna Matata will die, but you know, he ended up killing the Huskar first, and you know, at the end of the day, it's a Shadow Shaman for a Huskar. One of these heroes is significantly more valuable than the other. This Huskar is really not having a very good time.
The bounty hunter really wants to go on the top lane on the. He was pinging it out just now, and he just stood there in Viz, but his team doesn't care.
Genuinely, if Ogre Magi just purchased one set of sentry boards, they would have got 2 or 3 kills on this bounty hunter now. But in the meantime, in mid lane, we've got Drow Ranger pushing the tower with an illusion rune. 30 CS on her, obviously a kill and an assist to her name. Still going pretty well for the Drow. Really, the biggest disparity in this game is the farm between the safe lane, as Huskar is being doubled up by the Sven. And Sven, if he gets off to a good start, will just all over the Huskar, because, you know, Huskar does not withstand very well against people who turn big, red, jump into their face and hit them with a big sword. Meanwhile, Ursa does manage to sneak the Aegis. I've got to feel that the Dire should have been a bit hotter on that. But BD dies again to Hakuna Matata.
Is there anything we're overlooking about this Shadow Shaman matchup against the Huskar? I feel like the Huskar can just hit him.
I feel the same way. A good hook from Begiot Menya catches the Shadow Shaman, but he does trade his own life. There will be a bit of an engagement bottom with Bounty Hunter taking the stun from Ogre. The Ursa is giving chase with Aegis the Immortal, but he doesn't have a point in the Earth Shock, so this is... Oh, he's diving under the tower. This is what we came to see. Full Divide. Full Divide. And he is going to pay the price. Oh, no, not like this.
Oh, excellent Bounty Hunter.
Very well played from the Bounty Hunter. And Stranic will trade the Aegis for the kill on the Drow Ranger. Bounty Hunter is now level 6, track is online. But in the meantime, the Legion Commander has just been free farming in the jungle, has a Shadow Blade, has yet to put it to use. We could look mid for the first reveal. I guess that would be the plan, to try and shut down the Invoker. Who again has finally actually managed to find an advantage in farm over the Drow Ranger. But considering how much time the Drow spent out of lane, it's not really surprising.
For a
Drow's
Shadow
now back
Blade,
into the lane.
I
And he's
think we
going
got a dead
ham on
Invoker.
the Invoker. He is a dead man. He decided against using abilities. I guess his Invoke was on cooldown. It's still only level 1 after all.
Still
Oh, but he does
cooldown.
manage to get the return kill with the Forge Spirits.
I thought we had a Sunstrike
Shit,
from the
says Shinobi.
Sunstrike from the grave or something.
Shit is right, Shinobi. Are we going to see initiation from BD? I can't help but feel it would be a bit of a bait if he did. Unfortunately, Hakuna Matata does waste his Serpent Wards. It does leave him open to a bit of aggression from BD. If he'd put the Serpent Wards down before he started the Shackles, he might have killed the guy.
Now, if Huskar was just to check the mana levels on the Shadow Charm, and he could just jump.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the wards are there, but if he can't be
Honestly, he
held,
should just farm the wards. He's got a Tango, he's got a Helm of the Dominator, he's got Inner Vitality. He should just go and take that farm. That's free money right now.
and going back to the Legion with the Shadow Blade, you really need to get a kill with the Shadow Blade reveal,
We might see
especially
it
with a
now, we
bounce
might see it
counter on
now.
the.
Pudge is coming in. There you go, the Shadow Blade is up. And they see Pudge. And this should be an easy duel victory. Winner! So the first duel damage on the table for the Legion Commander with the reveal of the Shadow Blade. BD is in no man's land, but
Is under
Huskar doesn't seem to care.
Dire's structures
Hakuna
are
Matata
full
just sort of
loyalty.
gave him the walk on by.
I'll take that.
We have Tyrannica chasing down Hakuna Matata, who has very limited mana to work with. This could be a kill. If
Ring around
anyone,
the rosy.
if anyone on the Radiant team actually cared, that might have been a kill on Hakuna Matata.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I would really like to see this Legion Commander move from the jungle, start getting kills on the board, start racking up the damage.
Yeah, Duel's up in 5 seconds. She should be moving into position with her team. Free up the jungle a bit for the Drow Ranger. Make some space.
And the only reason that she's got dual damage is because the Pudge essentially walks to her, rather than the
Yes.
other way round.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've
There's
got
a big
TP
creep wave
rotations
over
coming to
on
Is
bottom.
under attack.
Sorry.
Drow Ranger
They're going
moving
to
down.
use the top tower to cap on the
Radiant's top tower
on the
has
Sven.
fallen.
They are hunting in the jungle though. They have the track up on the Legion, who is invis. This should be an easy kill. And Sunstrike should... Oh, no, he
Oh.
hooked him out of the Sunstrike. Not the best hook from Begiot, but, you know, it's you get the kill.
We've also got an engagement down on the bottom, Shackles and all the stuns, as well as Gus being used on the Huskar, and he didn't really stand a chance once the Drow Ranger just started
Yeah.
hitting him.
And
Ward's
Ward's
been
going
dropped
down
on
on
the
the
tower.
tower.
Bottom tower
But
is
the
under
rest of the
attack.
Dire team doesn't seem that interested in the push. And here they finally come.
Radiant structures are
Fortification
fortified.
used by the Dire, sorry, the Radiant, and obviously that's just going to be a delaying tactic. They'll get it back after the tier 1 falls.
Radiant's bottom
The
tower
change
is
they
fallen.
implemented a couple of patches ago, and I really like it personally.
Yep, I do too.
However frustrating it is when you're on the team that is
We
trying
got
to take the damn
smoke
tower.
dank. Sorry to interrupt you. We've got a smoke dank with the newly minted blink dagger on the Ursa. Huskar is buying tomes of knowledge, which I think could probably be better used on someone like, well, anyone else really at this stage. Huskar's levels aren't the problem. It's his farm that's the problem. Phase boots on Huskar. This is something I haven't seen before. Not something I particularly enjoy. Huskar does not struggle for... Oh, dive on Fat Boy mid. He should be going down here. Oh, unfortunately, the Shackles land on the Forge Spirit, and Drow Ranger actually shot the Forge Spirit 3 times. So the Forge Spirit doing his full-on Secret Service mode.
Radiant's middle tower
And Drow Ranger will go down to a snipe from the Bounty Hunter. And in comes Pudge to try and save the day. Track kills all around on the Drow and on the Ogre. And Hakuna Matata will die to the Pudge as well. So Pudge, the massive beneficiary of that fight.
We've got a free kill, a free dual damage over on the top. Ursa, he smoked up to the top lane and then sat aggressively farming. Oh, he killed by a
Oh,
neutral
and he got
creep.
denied. He got
Oh,
denied
no.
by a neutral. So all in all, across the map, that ended up as a 4-for-1 trade, with track gold favouring the Radiant team.
I bet the Pudge
If
was
we ha-
happy there coming in and picking up a double kill.
Massively so. He got experience for 3 kills there, solo experience for 2 of them.
Much needed, I imagine.
Oh yeah, he's closing in on his ether lens as well, and actually he could have it if he disassembled his arcane boots, but that's obviously not the plan here.
Good reactions from the Invoker mid, got gusted and instantly blinked out before taking damage.
Wish you could see a hook here on Drow Ranger, and he will hit it. Gotta feel like Shinobi should have seen that coming with Pudge walking up through the lane. Mask of Madness does have its drawbacks on the Drow Ranger. We actually have 2 Masks of Madness, one on the center and a duel onto Fat Boy. I feel like this was a miscalculated duel. And they will end up trading 1 for 1. Will they be able to catch the cap? Blink on Ursa? This should be a dead Sven at this point. Stranic needs to move out of the... Everyone is blocking this Pudge's hooks. Yep, and there you see it. Stranic putting his big fat bear body in the way. Do we see anything here? Yeah, blink forward from the Ursa. Will clean up the cap.
Radiant's top tower
And that was a
is
track
under attack.
kill as well. Ogre moving around fighting with the Ursa a little, but that's a fight he cannot win and will back out. Bit of a deep dive there. Exactly what we like to see from Russians. And in the
He's still
meantime...
just farming up on the bottom lane. It looks like Hakuna might... Oh, a bit of a whiff there.
A tremendous whiff from Hakuna Matata, and he will be pinged for his troubles.
Whiff city bitch, whiff city bitch.
I feel like both of these players are making this lane look in ways it shouldn't. Hakuna Matata has no right to have got this level of experience and farm on this lane. But
Picked up
equally,
another... Sorry to cut across you. Picked up another dual kill. For some reason, diving on low health. I'm not really sure what's going on there. But Ogre's going to walk off with about 100 health, so he's probably quite lucky he didn't see another right click come his way.
and Drow gets kill, and they do kill the Ursa and the Pudge. And the Pudge was really starting to snowball in the way that only Pudge can. Seems like Legion Commander has managed to get a bit of duel damage under her belt, but she's dying for most of these duels, which isn't ideal. We could see a gank here with the Invis rune up on a BD. Let's see if Hakuna Matata has the patience to wait for his team. Done from the cap should be coming out soon. There it is. And Huskar will fall.
Nice to see they didn't overlap their stuns as well. Cap on the Sven
Yeah.
lasted long enough, waited long enough for that one, so that was nice.
I must be honest, I was expecting him to come in all guns blazing and just burn the... a duel on mid on Fatboy. And this should be an easy victory for Cow. It was up to 48 duel damage now. Not bad for 18 minutes. And that one he actually didn't die for, which is the main thing.
He's not using his press the attack before hitting, which is something that it's making his right clicks look a lot slower than probably should be.
He's also leveled stats over overwhelming odds, which is something I can't agree with.
Overwhelming odds is so good.
Especially against a largely melee-based team. We have 3 melee heroes over on the Radiant side. If you get plus the Forge Spirits, I mean, overwhelming odds would just be the perfect skill here.
But press the attack mixed with Bloodlust from the Ogre, incredibly strong.
For the
dual spell
Diade
usage.
scan, they know the Bounty Hunter's present. They do have Dust on the Ogre. Will he use it?
He's being
They know he's
pinged.
hit. The Ogre is
Radiant's top
AFK.
tower is under attack.
Yep, buying sentries. He was shopping and missed a chance to kill the Bounty
Dire's
Hunter.
bottom tower is under attack.
Ursa,
more
in the meanwhile, has
importantly,
moved
dual
into
damage.
rush. Ogre is being pinged like hell. Cow is saying, come on man, you know he's there, he keeps tracking us, use your dust, we'll kill him.
Is under attack.
The Redire seems to have no idea that this rush was going on, and Ursa will pick up the second Aegis of the game. This time with the Blink Dagger, where he'll be much more dangerous.
The Bounty Hunter provided a lovely distraction for the team to go and get the Rosh.
Absolutely,
kind
I
of
mean,
playing with
the
them.
Dire team, 4 heroes have just stood around doing nothing. And we've got a hook onto the Cap, who does have Mask of Madness activated. He'll take tremendous damage from the Pudge, and this should be a nice, easy kill here. Oh, and a deny. That's unfortunate. But he does still get the dual damage over on Cow. Unfortunately, no one on the Radiant team was able to help. There was no Sunstrike forthcoming from the Invoker, even though he did have it invoked.
Oh, the Sunstrike was
just
attempted on the
missed.
Sven,
He
just missed.
Yep.
Considering that was basically blind, not a bad effort.
I can't help but feel that he should have used it on the dismembered Mask of Madness Sven, though. Bit of a miscommunication coming out from the two guys. Considering they are probably a stack, judging by their names, that's a bit worrying.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And they know where
Radiant's middle
Fatboy
tower
is.
has
The
fallen.
Dire has a ward that just saw him move up to the secret shop. Aghanim Scepter is well on its way.
Radiant's
The
middle
Midas is
tower
off cooldown,
under
ready
attack.
to be used again. There are 3 heroes, however, chasing Fatboy into the jungle. If he stops to farm this, he might well end up a dead man.
We did lose the Shadow Shaman, who was way out of his depth over by the between the Radiant Ancients and the Radiant Tier 2.
A duel onto Fat Boy from Cow. He did not use press the attack first, but he will get the win. BD might go down as well here. Yep. Ding ding, motherfucker. Use your dust, Ogre. Ogre, use your dust. There we go. He finally uses the dust. It was a bit late, gonna be honest, but you know, they still get the kill.
Possibly overkill with the multicast, but won't take anything away from him.
There's no kill like overkill. A hook onto the cap from Bigotti. This probably was not the hook he was looking for. Although Ursa is coming in and it is going ham. In danger of being kited around too much by this Drow though.
Radiant's top tower is under
The Aegis will trigger. But there's no help here forthcoming for the Ursa, so Ogre and Drow should just back out. No mana on Ursa. On Ogre. I'm struggling with the Ogre Ursa today.
Maybe you could go one head, two head.
Yeah. Diffuser Blade now purchased up on the Ursa, that will really help
like
with the
that.
kiting problems.
I like that pickup.
I'll take that.
Diffusal Blade is quite an underrated item, I feel.
On melee agility heroes, I don't think there's many items. There's many items that are actually better than Diffusal. It really helps with the kiting issue, it really helps just a bit of damage, bit of stats.
It looks like both teams are content to farm at the moment. The net worths, it's all fairly even. It's, well, I say even. It's all over
Look
the
at
place.
bottom lane. Cow
But
is
it's not.
going in on Fat Boy. And again, he doesn't use press the attack. One of these days it's going to cost him the kill, I assure you. And there should be a rebuttal kill here onto Cow. Nice and easy track gold there for them.
The LOL coming out in chat. The all chat always makes pub games for me.
Absolutely, it's always fun. I'm disappointed to see that the Russians have not adopted LUL yet. But you know, surely they will. They'll come around. Ancient's being farmed up by Sven. No stacking going on this game, so the Sven is a little bit further behind than he should be.
under attack.
But the net worth is actually looking surprisingly even. The only massive drop is between the Ogre and the Bounty Hunter, where it's almost a 1,500 deficit for the Ogre, but that's to be expected with track gold.
It
Everyone
looks like
else is pretty much on par.
it looks like we're building into a possible Aghanim Scepter over on the Yoga, realising that stuns are the way to victory in this game against the Huskar, against the Ursa. Although it's very
And-
costly if you use the stun on the Yoga at the wrong time with Aghanims, as it uses
Oh yes.
50. Is it 50% of your total mana?
It's a significant amount of your total mana.
I believe
I'm
it's
not
50%
sure- I'm not
of
sure
your
the
current
actual-
mana level.
I'm not sure about the actual
Value.
numbers. Oh, we could see another duel here from Cow, but he will just pass like ships in the night on the Invis Bounty Hunter. Could we be seeing a smoke gank here? They're gathering.
I think we are.
Does
I don't
anyone
know if
have
we've got a
smoke?
Not yet.
No. No, they're just gonna. Oh, is that smoke coming on the courier? No, it's a mithril hammer. I'm not really sure what that was about, but okay.
I think we're going to lose our bounty hunter over on the
We
bottom
probably
lane.
no. What
Ooh.
a time to go invisible.
He's probably
And again-
thanking his lucky stars.
Tower is under
No
attack.
one carrying any form of detection on the Dire team.
Structures are fortified.
More ancients being farmed up now by the Mask of Madness Sven, who is still looking for his BKB, I guess. BKB obviously extremely useful against Invoker, but to be honest, that's about it.
And of
No
course,
one
whilst
else on-
all of this, it looks like we're going to lose our Drow Ranger over on the bottom. Diffusal Blade into easy hook, yeah. Meatball for added flavour.
It was an attempted kill steal from Fat Boy, but he was unsuccessful.
The dominance meatball, I think we'll call
It
that.
was, yeah. It's a shame they couldn't get the track off. And we are seeing the sort of old school damage build from the Bounty Hunter. Phase into Aquila Deso.
I haven't seen this for a while.
No, generally it's either Dagon or Guardian Greaves from the Bounty Hunter.
I think we're going
I
to
don't-
end. We've ended up with 2 Desolators over on the Dire. The Legion's already got one. Not the worst thing in the world, but stacking.
What do you mean? Who else has got a Deso on the Dire?
Oh, sorry.
No one.
I'm just being a dunce.
Don't worry.
Dire's
We
Is-
could see a duel here onto Ursa. She will die if she goes to this duel. So it'd be a foolish move. Oh, excellent ward trap. And unfortunately the hook came out just slightly too late to prevent the duel from going off, but they will kill off the Legion Commander. Pretty good trade.
tower is under attack.
I'm kind of sad the Pudge managed to kill the Legion before the Legion free path movement back to the duel.
Yeah, that would have been quite amusing. We've got more fights here. BD caught our position. And they're struggling again for positioning on their Husker. Oh, Hakuna Matata definitely could have... We have a Shadow Blade up on the Shadow Shaman, by the way. I don't think either of us had mentioned that, but this is a Arcane
hadn't.
Boots into Shadow Blade Shadow Shaman.
I think the bounty needs to do a better job of keeping track of the people with shadow base with track.
Yeah. I mean, in
Follow
this
them
case,
around a
though,
bit.
they actually had a sentry ward round, so they were able to see and kill the bounty hunter.
Indeed, they did.
Crazy.
How effective $100 sentry ward was.
Indeed, and got them. How much gold did they get for killing the bounty hunter? 475.
There we go. Profit margin of what, 400%?
Significant.
No.
Well, yeah, for one sentry ward, yeah. I'm kind of interested by this Shadow Blade build. I don't really. I guess in a pub game you can see the utility of it. Shadow Blades are. I like the king of pub games.
It is indeed. This is no EG Wings, is it? Or EGDC?
Middle's missing.
Do we have any detection on the Radiant side at all? No, but they do have a bounty hunter, so that does help to mitigate that slightly. Of course, it won't help if you get initiated from on in Invis.
Now we're going
A lot
for an early BKB on the Sven, which I find it's a good item, but there's a kind of a lack of things that you want to stop. You're only really stopping the Invoker.
Well, I
Right.
mentioned this earlier. The only thing that they're actually doing anything against is the Invoker.
Hmm.
So a bounty hunter was spotted in the dire jungle. Do we have any detection? We have a dust available, but Ogre doesn't want to use it. We have Legion Commander Shadow Bladed up right next to the bounty hunter. Bounty hunter has actually maxed his invis over his Janada, which means he's in invis for a very, very long time.
Well, he can be permanently.
Oh,
in
he's
invis
out
if
of
he
invis.
wants.
Ogre, use your dust. Use your dust, Ogre. He does dust. The bounty hunter is now slowed, and this should be an easy kill. Plus damage, nice and easy.
Up to
122 damage.
yeah.
And the farming
also-
will continue.
Yeah, this is farming mixed with a bit of weird positioning coming in from both sides, and a lot of ships passing in the night with two invis people standing right next to each other.
Yes, well, the amount of invis on in this game is quite crazy, actually. With the bounty hunter, a Shadow Blade, Shadow Shaman, and a Shadow Blade Legion. Looks like the Legion might be going for either a Basher or an MKB.
I just want to point out on the Ursa, we've picked up an incredibly strong item in this game. Incredibly strong. We've got the Aghanim Scepter up on him.
Extremely useful. They won't be able to keep him disabled at all now.
No, I really like this pickup. He's recognised that. I mean, as much as a BKB would do for him, it would only last, well, less than 10 seconds once the charges have gone down. And they've probably got more than 10 seconds of disable.
Oh, easily.
So
If he gets hit by an Ogre Stun into a Hex, into a Shackle, into a Jewel, well, he's never going to get anything off. We're still missing the Aghanim Scepter over on the Invoker. The Invoker actually hasn't picked up an item for coming on for 10-15 minutes now.
he's
he had
still
a really
third in
good
the net
timing
worth,
on-
though.
He had a really good timing on his Blink Dagger and his Midas. And we will see initiation here onto the Drow Ranger, but he will miss the Meatball. No setup. Should have maybe started with the Tornado, and he will pay the price. In comes Stranic, though. Cleans up the Drow Ranger, moves on to the Dizzy 09's Ogre. The Diffusal Blade paying dividends here. Oh, an excellent use of the wards from the Shadow Shaman. This should be dead Stranic, but he may well die to the Bounty Hunter, who unfortunately strayed a little bit too close to the Serpent wards and will end up feeling his life away.
All this time, Sven farming away in the jungle.
But they haven't got any stacks for him, so he's not flash farming particularly hard.
He's not no.
Usually Sven's are further ahead at this stage.
It seems like the Ogre is learning, by the way, as well. He preemptively put a sentry ward down for the Invoker kill, expecting the Ghost Walk, the QQ Walk to come out, which never came, interestingly, but...
No, it didn't. But the Invoker really just needs to buy the component of his Aghanim Scepter. Oh, it's on the Courier. I'm not sure how long it's been on the Courier, but he must have had his Courier stolen at some stage. Look at the damage on the tower from the Legion. Holy moly.
We're up to
122 bonus damage.
plus
And
the Deso.
the Deso. And it's a Basher out for the Legion now. We have a preemptive GG called by Stranic. And all this time Rush is available. The Radiant know it. They have a Ghost in the pit, controlled by the Dominator of Huskar, who still has not had any meaningful impact on this game. He's 3-7-2. He's only been involved in 5 of his team's 24 kills.
You never want your Huskar to be fifth. Is that fifth bottom in net worth?
Yeah.
He's great when ahead, not so great when behind. The Nursery is now moving in to the Rush pit and should be able to do it fairly easily.
But the Dire should have seen this. They have a ward.
The Legion looks like she's thinking about it. Instead, she just goes to farm the Ancients.
Apologies, I had to sneeze. So,
Here we go. They're going in.
But they're too late. They must have seen this.
He needs to get out. Blink, blink. Cheese is on deck as well.
He's just going to man up. And this should be a pretty big fight here. Hooks onto the Shadow Shaman. Serpent Ward's deployed in the backlines. Legion Commander has dueled the Pudge. Meanwhile, Sven has gone absolutely hamburglers on the rest of the team. And they fall to the cleave. Ursa is now going to respawn, but there's no support here for him. And look at that damage from Drow Ranger. Holy moly.
There we go. We've given the cheese over to the Drow Ranger, which makes her infinitely more scary. Well, not infinitely, but slightly more scary.
And it looks like we're building up towards an Aghanims on the Drow as well. Staff of Wizardry and Blade of Alacrity in the stash.
I quite like it with these messy fights going on. She can just stand there and almost cleave her way to victory.
Again, the short range / melee heroes suffer greatly from that kind of damage.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
But this is the problem that we spoke about in the draft, which is the Radiant team's team fight doesn't really exist. They've got 4 heroes who are exceptionally good at taking out people one-on-one. In Pudge, Ursa, Bounty Hunter and Huskar, but they don't do a lot against the AoE damage, the stuns, the disables, and just the overall tankiness.
It seems like we've had a conflict of interest going on the Dire. We've got Drow Ranger taking the racks, we've got Legion farming the jungle, and we've got everyone else regenning in base. And Ogre running around the Radiant jungle.
I feel like if they'd pushed as a unit, they could have definitely taken both racks there mid, rather than just the ranged. But still, range racks...
I even think they might have been able to sneak at least the tower top. And
Oh, Legion has found a pick-off on Invoker again. He used his boots to travel into the lane where Legion was waiting with the Shadow Blade.
I like that kind of thing, especially when it's against a Tinker. Stand in smoke and just wait for him to arrive.
Drow is manning up on the Bounty Hunter and will kill him. Will he manage to find BD? Nope. But here comes Stranic, ulted up. And he's not going in. But the hook will land. Cheese eaten by the Drow Ranger. But he should go down here.
Blown out on a cold wind.
Ursa, one of the better heroes against Drow.
Radiant's top tower is under
Get on top of her, disable that marksmanship passive.
Anyone who has a
Beat
blink
her to
or
death.
buys a blink is always going to be good.
Oh, they used both their disables on the Ursa before he popped his ult. But he will die anyway.
He's still
Will they
at a
manage to
rage
find
of that
BD?
damage from
Yep.
Sven, wow.
Ben hits hard, no. Are we going to see the big chase from Hakuna Matata here? Manages to get the Hex, 4-star forwards from the Ogre, good play there. And he will get the disable onto BD. Ignite will come out, and the hook from Bigotti, who has actually got an Aghanim Scepter for himself, will save him. Shackles to come out? Nope, no mana for it. He uses the Hex instead. Tornado on 2, Meatball flying through. Deafening Blast will only hit on the cap. 3 times multicast there on Fatboy, who manages to go invis. Meanwhile, Bigotti on the Pudge will pick off Shadow Shaman. And BD is now moving in. Big dick moments, but he gets dueled and killed instantly. Sunstrike will miss on the cap, track is up. We have Bounty Hunter giving chase. If he gets the hit on, he should be able to kill very easily there. Will he trade his life away? He will. The damage from Cow is immense at this stage. Plus 282 damage, 176 of that from Jules. The Tornado will catch Cow, but the AMP misses. Shadowblade is up again, but there is no Jewel. Cow is chasing down Bugatti. He's diving very deep for this. Divide, and he will get dismembered, cold snapped up, and he should pay the price for his insolence. He will, however, claim the scalp of both the Invoker and the Punch. This damage is actually insane. Will he manage to get the Ursa as well? No. The Aghanim's ult prevents the Ursa from falling, and he will eventually go down. 1,255 gold on the Ursa for that kill alone. Diffusal Blade up onto Dizzy 09er. He will be gusted back, however, on the Ursa, and Shinobi is giving chase with the Mask of Madness and the Frost Arrows. There is an ult available for Stranic, so the damage will be taken will be very limited, but he needs to just decide whether he's fighting or whether he's running, and in the end he can't decide and will die. Mid-Rex to fall now. BD comes in, but he is unsupported. 3 times multicast. Another multicast from the Ignite. Track is up. They're giving chase. The Frost Arrows from Shinobi will not slow enough, and Ursa's back in the game. A buyback from Stranic will clean up the Drow Ranger. Track out on Dizzy 09er, who will die to the Ursa as well, so a worthy buyback there. And finally, I get a chance to breathe.
That was a very extended fight. I just let you go. Near the end there, we actually had a really nice armlet toggle in between Urn ticks on the Huskar, which was quite nice. That was
God, Odie Pixel Rap God.
That was one of the longest fights I think I've ever seen. It kind of started 2 minutes ago and just continued.
Yeah, that was
Just
crazy. I
Pick
enjoyed
off after the pick off.
Woof.
Take a sip of your
Oh,
drink.
I'm tired now. Yeah, I'm tired now. Good grief. Imagine, like, you remember that game that was like 300 minutes long that was casted by Odie Pixel and Draskell, and Odie Pixel was still like hype at the end of it. How does he do that? I don't know.
Because he's a very short man syndrome Englishman.
That's true.
So he's always going to be loud. We've got the wraparound coming from Hakuna Matata on the Shadow Shaman, who's in his Shadowblade. Could get an excellent initiation going here. This is scary for the Radiant.
I know, a great duel from Cow. They weren't completing this at all. Here comes BD. We're straight into the disables and we'll get cleaved down. Stranic, Fatboy, and BD will all fall. Tyrannica also falls to the Sven, who is starting to hit like an absolute freight train.
And the BM coming out from Cap on the Sven. The question mark in all chat. I feel 100% necessary.
Oh yeah, you can't push like that. They were all 3 of them, or 4 of them even, stacked up together, and they know that there are 2 Invis heroes on the side of the Dire, both of whom have excellent initiation. We've got Aghanims coming out for the Shadow Shaman. AC is now up for a Legion Commander. Deadless on the way for Sven. And we've got the Finish Fast coming out from the Ursa. He's clearly had enough of this game. Oh, duel onto Pudge. Cow will claim another scalp. 212 damage on this guy. Aghanims is complete for the Drow Ranger. Maelstrom is now on its way to the Legion Commander. And this should be game here. There is a buyback on Pudge, but there's no real way for them to hold this. There's too much farm, too much damage on the Dire side, plus the Bloodlust from Ogre. Once again, we're seeing a lineup with no stunts. Oh my god, look at that damage from Cow. Takes out the Invoker almost instantly. BD moves in. He's had a horrible game on the Huskar. Definitely not a hero he's comfortable playing.
It wasn't the game for Huskar either, though, was it?
No.
Second pick Huskar.
Absolutely not.
There we go.
And GG. Congratulations to the Dire. A well-played game. Pretty scrappy in places, but just what we wanted from a Russian Dota game. I feel like the laning decisions were odd. And they didn't
I feel like the
respond very
better
well.
draft won at the end of the day.
I agree. There was definitely a... Even though they decided... in the draft, I thought they were going to do an off-lane Legion. And do a support Shadow Shaman and a support Ogre. But the level of farm that the Shadow Shaman managed to achieve, and the levels as well, they really helped out in this game. Couple of solo kills on the Huskar, the decent initiation items Would have preferred a blink before the Shadow Blade, but you know it worked for them. Whatever works. I don't think the Dire did anything particularly wrong in that game. They just played a reasonably good game, ended up out farming their opponents quite significantly, and took advantage of the poor play of the enemy.
Definitely. I think that just about wraps that up, doesn't it?
That does. It does. It's been a pleasure as always, Ryan. Take care of yourself, and thank you for watching KTE Dota. Once again, I'm Cazis, he's SxLaughter. See you next time. Goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.